Is Hinduism an Aryan religion? What is the meaning of the word Aryan? If by Aryan one thinks of Nazism, then it is incorrect. If by Aryan one means of people who spoke the Proto-Indo-European language and who migrated into India from Eurasia via Central Asia about 4,000 years ago and composed the Vedic lore over 1,000 years as they moved from the Indus to the Gangetic plains, then it would be correct, but only partially. Until the advent of genetic studies, information on Aryans was restricted to linguistic studies of two ancient scriptures, the Avesta of Iran and the Vedas of India. Archaeological evidence was sparse. This led to a lot of speculations with multiple arguments on whether the Aryans came to India or spread out of India. However, now genetic studies have clearly revealed that the horses were domesticated in Eurasia 6,000 years ago and migrations out of Eurasia began 5,000 years ago. The composers of Vedas reveal great familiarity with a river called Saraswati, now called Ghaggar. This indicates that they were familiar with the cities we now know as the Harappan civilization. What is clear is that seals from Indus Valley bear images of elephants and tigers, but not horses, and Vedic hymns are obsessed with horses and shows unfamiliarity with elephants and tigers. The Aryans entered the Indian subcontinent around 4,000 years ago, a period when cities of the Indus-Saraswati Valley had already declined. The Aryans got horses and their proto-language with them, but not quite the Vedas. In the Indus Valley and dry riverbeds of Saraswati, in the Harappan cities, as they mingled with local people who had memories of the great river Saraswati at once flowed in this region, they refined old hymns, composed new ones that were eventually compiled to form the Rig Veda in a language we now know as Vedic or pre-classical Sanskrit. About 3,000 years ago, the migration continued into the lush Gangetic plains, where the Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda was composed. Eventually, 2,500 years ago, the Upanishadic revolution gave rise to the Buddhist and Jain monastic orders, which refined one idea that makes the Indian thoughts unique: faith in karma or rebirth. In conversations about Aryans, we need to ask ourselves, why do we give this race so much importance? Why is it important to prove that the Indus Valley and the Vedas are the creations of the original Indians and have nothing to do with the migrants? British colonizers' use racium theory suggests the Aryan invasion theory as part of the divide and rule policy. Are being racist in our discomfort with the Aryan migration theory? In the vociferous rejection of this theory, there seems to be implicit suggestion that all things good in India, from the Vedas to the Indus Valley civilization to the discovery of zero, are purely Indian. This wreaks the fear of corruption and the desire for purity.